bit about vision for Westbrook. What's really interesting is that since I ran for office and since I took office, I've been researching a lot of what's available to me because, as I said, I don't want to start from scratch. When you're the mayor for 2 years. That's an awful quick period of time. I want to acknowledge good work and continue along the same path where good work has been done. So I searched through to see what's available for a mission or unifying voice for the city of Westbrook. And so we're going to talk about that in a minute. But first, a little bit about myself. I hate talking about myself, I really do. Some people know I have Westbrook roots. I wasn't born here. My father was in the Coast Guard, so we like to say I come from a family of 7, and we were born up and down the East Coast. I was born in North Carolina, but primarily have been here most of my life. Graduated from Westbrook schools. I'm a registered nurse, and it's always complicated to say, where do you work? Well, I'm the CEO for B&A Home Health and Hospice, but I'm also a vice president at Mercy Health System of Maine. Technically, I'm employed by Mercy Health System. Mercy Health System is technically owned by a corporation called Catholic Health East. So it's really funny as I moved through this role, there's lots of talk about corporations and mega corporations, but really our world is changing, and most corporations are really part of larger corporations. Even what seems like a little small mom and pop is really, you can trace its roots, connected in many ways to a very large corporation. So I have a lot of experience with that. I served on the school board for more than 10 years and chaired that for many years. I had a pretty good sense of city government and impressions about needs and what have you. I serve on a number of boards and committees statewide, and I won't bore you with those. I am chairing right now the Cumberland District Public Health Council, which is a collaborative in Greater Portland. And there's a lot of overlap with the people that I work with there and what I'm doing now as the mayor. And I took office in January. Please remember that's only been 4 months. I'm exhausted. So, vision. This is what I found. It's really the only thing that I found in my research that really was clearly written and promoted for a mission or vision for the city of Westbrook. So I like it, but it came from the Strategic and Economic Development Summit, which was the culmination of a couple of years of work, and I think were any of you in this room part of that process? Anyone? A few hands? And that group came out with this vision. And our vision is that Westbrook continues to be an increasingly significant leader of community and economic development in southern Maine, where businesses and families flourish in a vibrant and unified community guided by an effective and responsive government. I think that's nice, and I think it speaks to our community, and that's really the vision that I've sort of been migrating to in my 4 short months. But really, the vision comes from our comprehensive plan, or for some of you in business, a strategic plan. And the city of Westbrook, like all other communities, it's guided by Maine statute, needs to do a comprehensive plan at least every 10 years. I believe we're a little bit behind in updating our plan, but we have, since I took office, along with Molly Just, the city planner, been working on populating a committee. We're anticipating that the committee will take probably 18 months to complete its work. And we're looking for representation from large and small businesses, from community members across the community. We've asked people to apply to be on the committee. We have more applications than we anticipate to be an appropriate size to work through this process. So that's the good news. We have a lot of interest. But it's my hope that as we work through that process, we will then come out with what I hope will be a mission and a unified vision for the city of Westbrook that we can all resonate with, but more importantly, we can keep in front of us and keep visible to all of you that obviously have an interest as a business owner, but additionally our community. Through my work thus far, I've heard a lot of, well, that's not the vision that I heard. And it's amazing the different takes on people's impression of visions and commitments that have been made by the city. So it's important for me, in my role, that we complete this process, that we do it right, and that we leave the process with, again, a unified vision, but one that we promote and make very visible to our community in a very readable way, not a book on the shelf, not something that's just been put aside. And we also won't be just doing it every 10 years, that we develop a process coming out of the comprehensive planning process where we revisit it frequently because we need to be nimble. Life is changing, the world is changing, and we need to be responsive to that. So that's our hope, and that's our plan, and it's not too late. I know we have Dick Daigle. Where's Dick? Dick. Thank you. Dick volunteered to be on our strategic planning, comprehensive planning committee. And is there anyone else here that's been approached or has volunteered? Rainey Daniels, of course, and John Gallagher has committed from Westbrook Housing. So again, if you're interested, this would be the time, because Molly and I are going to be making decisions in the next couple of weeks about that committee. And we'd love to have your support and your participation. A few changes since I took office. Not much has happened. It's been slow. We got a lot of attention right after taking office for making some changes, and that was difficult. But I want to say, for those of you that don't know, that the city charter requires appointments to be made by the mayor on the first Monday of January. It wasn't my intent to start with Big Splash, but it was my intent, and I told people as I was running for office that I do believe in change. I embrace change. I think we need to be changing, and sometimes we need to change a little bit faster to keep pace. And some of you that are on my board of directors at work know that it's a constant change, and so we need to be ready for that. In consultation with Jerry Bryant, who's done, I just want to really acknowledge, I was kidding when I said I always wondered what he did. I knew he was busy, but firsthand, the guy works nonstop, and we're really lucky to have him in the city of Westbrook. And so, together with Jerry, we worked and looked at, we're running an organization. We're running a $50 million organization right now in the city of Westbrook. And we need to be smart about resources, and we need to be smart about the structure. And we need to have a structure in place that allows us to be responsive. I can tell you there are still going to be changes ahead, because I'm not so sure we're completely organized the way we need to be in order to do what we need to do, and we'll be working on that through this year. But right off the bat, we've been talking about sharing financial planning with the school for a few years now. I think we're one of the first communities to do this. The reason I wanted to change up the financial, which was historically the director of financial, deputy finance director or something. It was my opinion and others, we haven't done such a great job planning, and we haven't done such a great job with capital planning. And we have lots of infrastructure across our great city. We have lots of wonderful buildings, but we're very reactive to how we fix them sometimes, or how we plan for them. So a chief financial officer will oversee financial operations on both the city and the school side, and they will be also a significant leader for some capital planning for us. So that's why we changed that